All right, so we are back now. Nintendo, for the Nintendo side of things, we watched Microsoft, we watched Sony, we watched those two battle it out. And for E3 for me, the thing I love about Nintendo is Nintendo's never really like, oh, we're going up against Microsoft or Nintendo. They're just doing their own thing. It's kind of like a fresh palate cleanse when I see Nintendo shows. And I always see some cool stuff in Nintendo. I always like Nintendo showings. And some people try to dismiss it, like when Sony ends, all right, that's E3, that was pretty good, and everyone's like, well, you know, Nintendo's going in the morning, but I don't know. People would say that. It's like Nintendo has some good stuff to show sometimes. I'm always looking forward to the Nintendo showings, and especially when they went with the Nintendo Direct approach, where instead of having these big shows and conferences, they just have a 30 to 40 minute video that details everything and shows it exactly how they want to show it. And I mentioned it last year when I watched the Nintendo 2010 conference, is that the demo, the poor demo of Skyward Sword and like the issues on their end and that front, I really believe is really what brought upon like the change to do the Nintendo Directs like this, because you have it in more of a controlled environment when you demo these games. And it also brought upon the great like Nintendo Treehouse. I love the Treehouse event for Nintendo, because you get so much footage of the games and getting like a chance to see footage of it that I really appreciate. Like, I'm sure when E3 rolls around this time, we're gonna see whatever new game they show off there. We might see a bunch of footage of it throughout E3, which I don't know. It's always cool. Like when Breath of the Wild like was finally shown off for the first time, we got a lot of footage of that game because of E3, because they played like 5 hours of that game on their stream. So yeah, I know I'm going on long, but there's like Nintendo Directs are pretty nifty. I'll probably be talking about it throughout this. So let me not waste any time. Let's get right into it. So Nintendo Direct E3 2013. Let's go. Now I do not remember this one really, because I remember a little bit. I believe Smash gets announced and some other stuff.
Hello, everyone. This
And also,
is Satoru Iwata from Nintendo. I'm coming to you from a large conference room on the 7th floor of
like
the Nintendo headquarters in Kyoto. At the end of the month, we will be holding our annual general meeting of shareholders here.
This
Today,
dude to the
we'd
end
like to
was with
deliver
Nintendo. Like this
directly
dude,
to you
like
updates on games that we will be showing at E3 2013, which starts in Los Angeles in just a few hours. We are broadcasting this Nintendo Direct simultaneously around the world.
yeah, this was just like
So thank you for
no
joining us.
no filler, just 40 minutes,
First,
all
let's take a look
games,
at this.
none of this on stage. It's just It's just okay. This is Pokemon X and Y. Cool games.
Welcome to the Kalos region, home of your new Pokemon adventure.
I really can't wait for that new Pokemon, the Sword and Shield. I really can't wait for that one.
New world to
Like
explore.
finally, a home console like Pokemon. Although I don't know, everyone always seems to like dismiss the Coliseum series. Like Pokemon Coliseum and XD are classic games. Like they're some of the best Pokemon games. Like alongside Stadium, like they're just really good games, and everyone dismisses them all. You never hear people talk about them.
And introducing a new type of Pokemon.
Fairy. Yeah, this is pretty big.
Is just one example of this 18th Pokemon type, which is super effective against Dragon-type Pokemon.
Yeah, I mean,
Adding a
we're pretty
new
excited
twist
about
to your
this. It's like,
battle strategies.
oh, okay, changing the game up. I see.
Another
Like just
new
adding,
feature is
adding a new
Pokemon
type.
Me, an exciting way to bond with your Pokemon.
If Fire Emblem did it, we can do it.
Feed, pet, and play with Pokemon.
Actually, we didn't get that in the U.S. Never mind. Never mind. That Fire Emblem thing didn't come to the U.S. It got taken out.
Whether big or small, You can even copy your Pokemon's actions to make them happier. Get ready for the next evolution in Pokemon.
Where this game is cool.
Pokemon X and Pokemon
My dream goal is still to own every single
What you
Pokemon
just
game, but
saw
that's
is the latest
gonna be
trailer
so
for the
expensive.
new titles in the
Those games
Pokemon
never go down in
series,
sale.
Pokemon X
Pokemon
and Pokemon
Diamond
Y.
is still like $40. Like, it's
In addition
ridiculous. That
to the
game
new
came out
Pokemon
so long ago.
and new storylines
It's still 40.
featured in
Like,
Pokemon
Pokemon
X
games
and
never
Pokemon Y,
like
there
lose
are
like
a
any
number
go
of
on
new
any
game
sales or
elements
anything,
that
which
have been added.
stinks.
This time,
I remember
the
Nintendo
new
was like that. I
fairy
remember
has
Mario
been
Galaxy
added,
was like $50 for like
this
quite a
change
few years.
adds
Never
an
went down in
additional
price, and
layer
then finally
of
Nintendo was like, you know
strategy
what,
in
we're
your
gonna start
gameplay.
putting our games on
Another new
discount, which is
feature
good.
called Pokemon Ami
Like, I'm happy that era is over, where like a Call of Duty game will not be $60 like 4 years after it came out. Now it's like the game comes out in like 4 to 6 months after, you can get it for $40, and depending on how bad the game, or depending on the game's the quality, I get it for like 25.
That Pokemon X and Pokemon Y are coming in October, but we can now confirm that both are launching
November.
worldwide on October 12th.
I'm surprised not a Pokemon
Next,
game came out in October.
take
You
a
usually
look
come out in
at
November. Hey, this is a good game. This was a pretty fun Mario game, and I'm happy that Mario Maker 2 used this as a game type. I'm gonna be making a lot of stuff with this. I brought upon that. I don't know, to me, when I see this game, like, especially when you can like play as like Peach and Luigi and Toad, I always thought it's like almost a spiritual successor to Mario 2 in some ways. But no, this is a really fun game. I didn't play it too much in co-op. Like, I played it once with some friends who were over my place. But it's a good game. I know the sentiment at the time was it's cool, but people really wanted more of like a Super Mario Sunshine type Mario game at this point. So Odyssey at least brought that back in some forms. I feel like at some point, we're probably not going to see it for a while because Mario Maker 2, but I feel the next Mario game might go back to something like this, or who knows, it could go back to a more of a Odyssey type thing. Which I'm for either way. Like, I love my side-scrolling kind of Marios, and I love the collectathon type Marios. But no, that was a good game.
What you just saw is the latest title in the Super Mario 3D action series, Super Mario 3D World. This game represents the next step forward in the new style of Mario 3D action games that we first introduced in Super Mario 3D Land for Nintendo 3DS.
Never played that. I played
As you can
30
see,
seconds of that
for the
game on a
first time in
2DS,
a
and
3D
then
Mario game,
never got back to
we
it.
are offering a multiplayer mode for up to 4 players.
I will say it was
playable
kind of hard playing
characters are
multiplayer because
Mario, Luigi,
some people will get you behind.
and Princess Peach.
You
each
got the
character
stragglers.
has their
Sometimes
own
it can
unique ability.
make it tough.
Peach, for example, can hover mid-air, and Toad can run faster than the others. They all have unique personalities that will be familiar to those who have played Super Mario Bros. 2 for the NES.
Yep, see?
Multiplayer mode is as cooperative
Exactly what I
or
said.
competitive as you choose to make it. So you can enjoy this new
That
3D
level right
Mario
there. So
adventure
that level you're
in
flying
a
on that thing.
different way
That level
every
took
time
like
you
20
play.
minutes. Like, playing it solo,
There
I
is
beat it the
also
first try.
an outstanding
Playing
new
it with
power
4 other
in the
people,
game, which is
20
featured
minutes.
in
It
the
was-
game's logo.
Eh,
It's
it was rough.
Cat Mario. Cat Mario can perform new actions like climbing up walls and
I kinda
scratching
wanna play this game
enemies
again
with his
now.
claws.
Like, watching his back, it's like, you know, maybe I should play this again.
The new 3D Mario game, Super Mario 3D World, is coming out in December.
It did. I got it.
Let's move on to the next title. Please take a look.
Oh, Mark. Another game I got. Another game I sunk hours into. This is a great Mario Kart game. Like, that's what I'd really be down for now is... I know that they released that Mario Kart 8 port for the Switch last year. I'd really love just a straight up brand new Mario Kart game. Like, made for the Switch. Like, I feel 8 was really... added a lot of just really cool stuff to the series and just different things. Like, I'd love to see a new one. See, there's a game Waluigi's in. Not Smash, but he's in a game. Yoshi, the only my main character in Mario Kart since the beginning. Every game I will play as Yoshi. Doesn't matter if it's Super Mario Kart, I'm Yoshi. If it's Mario Kart Double Dash, I'm Yoshi. Like I stick to my characters. Same for Smash. I played Link in the beginning. I stuck with Link for every game. I played as Kirby. Stuck with Kirby every game. I will stick to the things and stay consistent on that front. Mario Kart 8.
The name of the new Mario Kart game we are creating for Wii U is Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, I was about to. I'm gonna say I was about to say a controversial take right now. I'm almost gonna say it. You know, Rainbow Road on N64 isn't that great. The music is great, but it's too long. That is my only thing. That race takes like 6 minutes to get through. I've never been a big fan of that version of Rainbow Road. Like, if it was shorter, I'd probably enjoy it. But because it's not, it kind of stinks on that front. Yeah, what I was saying. Yeah, like I just can't really play on that one too much. It's just too long. I think if it was shorter, I'd probably enjoy it. And the thing is, like, the music's great, but it's just it's too long. It goes on a little too long. Overstays its welcome. Like, I prefer the one for Double Dash and definitely the one on Super Mario Kart.
Spring 2014. Next is the latest installment in the Wii Party series, Wii Party U.
Oh.
This game will include not only standard board games, but also a number of
This is that era when like Mario Party was just bad and
of the Wii U gamepad.
Seeing this, I was just like, who wants to play this? Like, give me a good Mario Party. But at this point, Mario Party was done because Mario Party 9 was awful, and Mario Party 10 managed to be worse than that. Like, it was. This was a sad time to be a fan of the Mario Party series because the games managed to just keep getting worse, and like they didn't know what they wanted to do with it. And thankfully, Super Mario Party like actually brought it back to like what it should have been from the start. Just like, okay, you're on a board, you do mini games. That's all you need. I don't need to be in a cart with everybody else. Like, I don't need that. Just give me a straight Mario Party and I'll be good.
Also, during our Nintendo Direct in January,
but they didn't know.
Announced that Wii Fit U will be
I didn't even know that was a thing. I really didn't.
However,
I just heard that now. Like it came back. I was like, did they make a Wii Fit U port for the U?
Experience as possible, including those
the other thing is, I've never played like Wii Fit at all. I don't think I've even stepped on the balance board.
After the Wii U
I should go get one. I always see them at Goodwill's. There's like a stack of them. Like no one wants those anymore. Maybe I should go get some and salvage it to like a home.
Awaiting these titles. I appreciate your patience. Here is the new launch timing
Awaiting
for Wii
these
Party
titles.
U and Wii Fit U.
Oh, that's a funny
As I
title.
mentioned
We Fit
in
You.
our January Nintendo Direct, we are seeing incredibly high quality drawings on Miiverse from users who have clearly invested a great deal of time and energy in their creations. We had no idea that Miiverse would be
Pour
used
one out
in
for
this way
Miiverse.
before we
Yeah,
launched
Miiverse was
Wii U.
so good. Like everyone
then,
talked. I know
we
everyone
started
like really
to
didn't like
wonder
Miiverse, but
what users
Miiverse had
would
some fun,
accomplish
some good
if
stuff
we
to it. Like
provided them
I love how
with
Nintendo
more
advertised
complete
it. Like if
drawing
you get
tools.
stuck on a game, you'd go to Miiverse and they'd
We
help you
asked
out.
our
Which you know what?
development team to create
Depending on the
software
community
that
you
would
went to in
help us
Miiverse, you did
answer
find
these
those posts.
questions.
Like the
Here,
famous Metroid.
a
Why
new
can't Metroid
installment
crawl
of
like
the
that
Art
one?
Academy series
But
is in development
there's
for
some
Wii U,
funny stuff on
but
Miiverse.
we are
I liked
not
going to
yet
Miiverse
close
more
to
for like
completing this software.
probably not the reason
the
Nintendo
other hand,
wanted, but like
we
you go to
noticed
like some
what
of
is
the
happening on
communities, you
Miiverse
find some
and decided
You find
it
some
was
funny
worthwhile
and
to
interesting stuff on
provide a
there.
new
Like,
drawing tool by
go to
taking
like the
some features
Crunchyroll one,
from the new
and
game
you'd find
and release it
you'd
in
find
advance
so many badly
as a
drawn
special version
Narutos, or you
just
go to
for
the
Miiverse
YouTube one and
artists.
you find
This new
crazy stuff
software
on
allows
there,
users to
and it's like a
post
mixture
drawings
of
in
just
Miiverse
like
using
everything. It was
aspects of this new
it was
Art
pretty
Academy
great. Like
icon. This drawing tool
I
is
unironically liked
available
Miiverse.
from
It was kind of a
Nintendo
sad
eShop
time
on
when it
Wii
did
U
go away.
this
It
summer.
really ruined Mario Maker too,
You will
because
be able to use
all those
pencils,
comments on my stages and on all these
pencils,
other stages are
and
just gone
pastels
now, and
as your
it's kind
drawing
of unfortunate on that
directly
end.
the gamepad screen and post your
I always
creation
wanted this
to
game
Miiverse.
too, but I felt it wouldn't have been a good fit for me. I can barely draw Kirby, so there's no way I should get a game called Art
We
Academy.
hope that you will continue to surprise us by creating and posting such great drawings with this software. We will announce additional details in the future.
Yeah, we fit you with
including a
balance board.
specific launch date
$55.
and price.
Dang, I might go get it.
Nintendo has
Probably won't,
always appreciated
but I
the
might.
support of our third-party partners. The user experience on Wii U and Nintendo 3DS is richer due to the combination of software from Nintendo and these publisher and developer.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say that for
Our
the
strong
end. I'll
partners
save my Wii U
are
close
certainly
for the
evident
end.
through the titles scheduled to launch this year. Let's take a look at what our partners have been working on.
Right? Oh, third. Oh, I mean, that port wasn't too great. Great, good game. River Vein, good port. This is back when like Wii U did have third-party support, but it was pretty small in what stuff was coming. Like I feel now with Switch, anything is game to come to the Switch. Like there's so much stuff that's on the Switch now where I'm just like dang. Oh, Disney Fandy's gone too. Like I don't know, just I'm very happy with how Nintendo is now. Like they're in a really good place right now. Like Switch is doing great. So many like third-party developers are coming over there, and games that maybe didn't sell too well on other systems are like flourishing on the Switch. I'm still so mad about that. So you see that date, September 3rd, 2013? Like Ubisoft wanted to really kill that game because I remember that game had a release window of like February 2013. It was supposed to come out early in the year, and like there was no Wii U games at that time. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll have a game to play during like the downtime. And Ubisoft delayed the game because I guess they wanted to make to put it alongside the PS3 and Xbox 360 and I think PC ports. And they decided to release it like September 3rd, delaying the Wii U version, which at that point I believe had been finished. So they could have released it easily, but they decided to wait. And they decided to release it like a week before like Grand Theft Auto 5 was coming out, like one of the biggest games of the year. And the game didn't sell as well because like I think most people weren't buying that game because they knew, okay, GTA 5's coming out that next week. So it kind of didn't do as well as they expected, and like they can't be surprised like, wow, it didn't sell well. It's like, yeah, you released it at a horrible time. People did like when September, like that month, there were so many games that got delayed or just like they pushed it ahead. There were Watch Dogs that didn't come out in November. I talked about that in the last one, and like releasing a game in the month of Grand Theft Auto or in the month
Nintendo
with
is
Red
also
Dead or
committed
anything like
to
Rockstar,
expanding
it
our
is
digital offerings
you're
and
killing your
supporting the
game.
growth of our
And I feel
digital
Ubisoft
developer
sabotaged like Rayman
As a
doing it that
developer
way.
myself, I am constantly
That was a good game
impressed
too.
by the creativity and innovation
Thankfully, it got a
games
second life when it came
on
to like
Nintendo
PS4 and
that
all those
we
other
see
ones.
from our many independent developers. Let's take a look at the selection of games arriving on Nintendo eShop very soon.
Let's see, maybe I got some of these games. I'm actually gonna, I haven't played this. Looks pretty interesting. So the good thing is now I can watch this stuff back. And this is like games that look cool. It's like, oh, I can just go get it. Like that ballpoint one looked pretty interesting. Got this. Great. I was always sad they never did DuckTales 2, but that we got DuckTales 1 is still pretty great. Yeah, this series is still thriving. It's still got a lot of stuff going on with it. Good game. Got this game on everything. This game's great. I bought it on Wii U. I got it on Switch. Like, still love Shovel Knight. Ugh, I don't like seeing the Mii's with full-on bodies. It feels weird. Like Mii's need to be this like kind of tiny. I don't want to see them kind of lanky with their legs. It's a little weird.
The Wind Waker.
Yes.
In our January Nintendo Direct,
God, this was such a good
game's
port.
producer, Mr. Aonuma, demonstrated how the world of the Wind Waker and HD graphics are.
Like, this is a sad time to bring this up. I probably
that's
still put it
why
up on
he
Twitter.
decided to return
I
to
was playing
game
GameCube
world
games the other day, and
on
I was gonna play Wind Waker. I was gonna start a
Today,
fresh new
we
file
have
and play the
prepared this
GameCube
video.
version,
Please
and
take a
my
look.
disc no longer works. My launch day one copy of Wind Waker has finally died, sadly. Which it's a sad day. Now I have to go buy another copy, even though I have this on the Wii U. I still want an original copy. But I still have the HD one, so I can still play it at least. And this is a great game. Like, I don't have to even state it. It's one of the top Zelda games out there, and it's still such a shame. Everybody dogged on this game back then, and now this game's become like a, I wouldn't say cult classic, but everybody loves Wind Waker now, and is like the art style looks great. But like people like dogged on this game. I remember like having to defend it back then because everyone was like, "I'm not getting the Zelda game. It looks stupid. Like Link's cell shaded. Like I want more Ocarina." And these same people now are probably like, "Oh, Wind Waker is my favorite Zelda game." It's like, come on. You just missed a great game because it had a different art style. Like hey, I remember you. I remember your face. I remember what you said back then. Yeah, Wind Waker's still a classic. And if you never played it, I probably would recommend this Wii U version. Like, I'm still hoping it comes to the Switch at some point. I'd love to like play that again on the
What
go.
you just saw was the Legend
Like
of
I'd buy
Zelda
it full
Wind
price
Waker
again. No
running
problem.
on the Wii U system. The Wii U
But just because
version
if it
of
adds
The
a lot of
Legend
just
of
kind of
Zelda
cool quality of
Wind
life
Waker
stuff to it,
visuals
it
rendered at 1080p
definitely helps the
that
end game part. Because
immerse
getting the
you in
Triforce
game
shards and all those
like
charts and
never
everything
before.
takes so long on the
We are
GameCube
also
version.
utilizing
So having
shaders
something that like
on the
consolidates that
to
is
improve
great.
visual expression and refine
You know, it
our
looks good too.
texture
Like
graphics.
yes, it does go
We
over
think
on the
that
bloom a bit,
with
but
these improved
you know, it still
visuals,
looks great.
the game looks
But
as
even
if
original
it
Wind
was
Waker
born.
looks great. It's one of those games
The
that
story of The
I always
Legend
bring
of
up where it's
Zelda,
like
The
this
Wind
game will
Waker
age
takes
like
place
fine wine
on
in like
the
30
open
years.
sea.
And you know, it still has.
The
Wind Waker
player
still looks great.
control the wind
There's a lot of games
using
like that where you
an
look back at them
island called the Wind Waker
with
and
kind of more
explore
cell shaded or maybe
different
more of a
islands scattered
kind of
across
art
the
style
world.
in mind and going more towards the
I can't
realistic
share
side. And
the full
those
details
games
right now,
instantly
but
look
we
way better
also
and have
made some
aged
adjustments
perfectly.
to the game
Like
to
go
help
look at some
improve
those
overall
PS3
tempo
games
of
that went for
exploration.
more realism. they don't look that
I'd
great.
like to talk
You look at the
about
games
one
on
key
PS3
change
that went
from
more
the
towards
original GameCube
like
version.
an art style, like a 3D
In
dot
the
Game
original
Heroes.
game, the
Look,
player
game still looks
received
great.
an item called the Tingle Tuner from the series' familiar character Tingle.
You know, Kingdom Hearts
allowed
still looks
you
great.
To connect the game with the Game Boy Advance system to experience
Well, yeah,
assisted
it is also
play
something funny.
from another player.
I was the only person
Of
I
course,
knew,
Wii
and
U
until to
isn't
this day,
capable of linking
I've
with
met a
Game Boy
lot of
Advance.
people.
So we decided to
I have not
update
met
the
one person who
Tingle-related
owned the
features
Game Boy
to
Advance
make
SP
them
cable
compatible
besides
with
me.
Wii U.
I was like, am I the only person who
Once you
bought this
receive
thing?
the Tingle
Because
Model item,
I remember I tried to play Final Fantasy
you
Crystal
can
Chronicles,
start posting
and I
on
asked people, hey, you got that
It's like
link cable?
putting
And
a
they're like, oh
message
no, I
in a
didn't buy
bottle
that.
and
And
throwing it
even still
to
into like
the
high
ocean.
school, I'd ask some people like, hey,
Through
do
this
you
new
need a
feature,
Game Boy Advance? Did you have that
comments
cable?
of
And
the
they're like, no.
viewers will wash up
And
on
still to this day, I've
photos
talked to people,
of other players' games.
and I was like, yeah, I bet. No, I
You
never
can
bought it.
even attach a screenshot from your
Like
game.
I've asked so many people, like
We
I
hope
don't know what it
players
is about
will
my area, but
use
nobody
features
bought that
to
link
connect
cable.
with others and get
And
the
it
most
actually was really cool
enjoyment
using it
out
for
of
Wind
the
Waker
game.
too.
The
And I
Legend
did
of
like that they
Zelda
kind of changed that to
Wind
like the little
Waker
thing of
HD
integrating
will be
Miiverse and
released
like getting the
in
messages.
October.
Like that was cool. Like most of the changes they made in Wind Waker HD were pretty
Before
good.
The Legend of Zelda
Like that was a
Wind
good
Waker
thing of
HD.
like a remake
It's the
remaster.
wonderful 101
that
from
works great.
Platinum Games.
And this
it's
game,
the Hideki
why has
Kamiya.
this game not come to the Switch, or that we've not gotten a sequel? This was a
This
great
is an
game.
action game where
And
a group of heroes
it's
and
like,
their
oh,
leader Wonderland
I-
will battle
I
against
always
the
see that when
Space
people are talking
Invaders
about
group,
like games that
the
need to be ported to
Hitler
the Switch,
who have
especially that
started
now
to attack
the
Earth.
Switch has this bigger audience and there's people now kind of clamoring for these games that were on Wii U. People have been saying, "Where's
The heroes
Wonderful
use an
101?"
ability called Unite More, which lets them
So
transform
hopefully, I'm
into
still
giant
hoping.
weapons
Like I
by
feel we
uniting
may see
themselves with
a
others.
Wonderful 101 port.
Unite More powers
Because a lot of
will
Wii U games have been
activate
getting
by
ports
drawing
of
the
recent, like
specific
at least
symbol
last year. Last year was like the
corresponding
big
with
port year for
transformation
the
on
Switch.
Wii U gamepad
And I
touchscreen.
still feel they have some more
A
they might
bigger
try and
symbol
release
on
in the
screen
future.
means more heroes will unite, and
Yeah,
the
this game is
Unite
cool.
mode will be more powerful. At the in-game shop,
I need to actually
the
buy
player
this though.
can
I borrowed
purchase
a copy
and
from my
add
friend and beat it.
various skills
And now it's like, I need to buy my
items
own.
called opals the player can collect throughout the game. Players can acquire and use additional Unite More powers as they play.
Just
such
like,
as
man, where's
Unite
Beautiful
Gush,
Joe 3?
which reflects
There's
enemy
so many
attacks.
games that like I wish there were more of.
In this game,
But I don't know if
a
we'll sadly ever see
cooperative
those
multiplayer
come back.
mode for up to 5 players is also available.
There's something
Each
funny about the
player
Wii U too. That I don't know. It's
is
the hearing
for
the
her own
5-player
group of
reminded me.
heroes and battle
When the
skills.
Wii U is first being talked about, they said that at some point
The
we're gonna be
Wonderful
selling
101
the
will launch
gamepad
on
separately,
September 15th.
and that we would do
We'll
multiplayer
be
games with
able to
using
share
2
more
gamepads.
information with you.
And that
Those are
never
to
happened.
launch
We never
through
got
a
solo
Nintendo
gamepads,
Direct
and we
dedicated
definitely never
to
got
the
multiplayer
Wonderful
games
101.
utilizing 2 at the same time.
Next
which is a
is the
shame.
title that we are announcing for the first time in this Nintendo Direct.
But I'll save my Wii U stuff
First,
for the end of
please
this
watch
direct
this
because
video.
this is a good chance to talk about the Wii U in full. And speaking of things in full, this is possibly one of the best games on the Wii U. Like next to Mario Maker and a lot of the big first parties, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze is a classic. Like I don't know how much more to state, but this is in the classics. I'd say this game has made it onto the list of like I could put this next to Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, and 3. Like it's invited to the barbecue. And like this game did everything so well, just the
The video
music,
you
the
are
level
watching
design.
From the latest installment of the
Like
Donkey Kong
this
Country series.
this is easily like if I was gonna do my list of like best platformers out there, this game is in there. Very high. It's very high regarded game for me. I remember when this game came out, like I gushed about it like nonstop. It was becoming an issue, and I still do. I still try to convert this game to some people. Like I'll say, hey, if you're looking for a good game, Tropical Freeze is where to go. And sadly, it has not worked.
For the first time in the series, we are able to depict
If you're out there, please go play this game. It is on the Switch now. Like, it's such a good game. Don't listen to what that GameSpot review said, where they gave this game a 6 and said it needed checkpoints and it was too hard and it played bad. I was like, this game is definitely not a 6. Like, it's far from it. Like a 6 is like an average game. Like 6 doesn't mean it's bad, but just with the review, like the way the review is like done, it came off more. I don't know. That review always sat wrong with me. But I don't know. There's some sites I really don't trust. Some reviews, some reviewers at least. Cause I can't go on that far because there's always different reviewers for things. But you got the wrong person to play this game to review it. You should have got someone who like is a platform expert. And one thing I will say, Dixie Kong breaks that game.
Official title is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and it will launch in November.
I got that game too. Next, Game of the Year was hard that year because this year, in 2013, it was Grand Theft Auto 5, Last of Us, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, and there's a bunch of other games probably came out earlier that year. It was tough. Bayonetta 2, cool. It's a shame that they stopped doing that thing. When Bayonetta 2 came out, they had a deal where if you bought Bayonetta 1, if you bought Bayonetta 2, it included the first game on disc alongside it, which I thought was a really great thing. Because it's like, one, people on Wii U have not played Bayonetta 1, and it was a much better port than that PS3 one that was out there. That PS3 port's like, I don't know what they did. That game, they took such a good game and they destroyed it on PS3. Like, that game ran at like 12 FPS. It's like going back to Ocarina of Time now. But I really think that point back then, that was just because PS3 was so hard to develop on. Like, you hear that a lot back then. Just people really were not a fan of working on PS3 games. And you can just see that in like how the ports were. A lot of PS3 ports back then were awful. Like, they ran bad, they were unoptimized, they always were buggy, they never looked as good as 360. It wasn't until in PS3 when developers finally started like learning it, and all the first party developers like got their hands on it. That's when it got good. Cause they learned the system, they learned the cell. Good game. I'm happy those two games made it on Switch as well. And whenever Bayonetta 3 gets talked about, but I feel this E3 we're gonna hear some more because it's been a bit quiet in terms of info. So it's like, all right, cool, bring on Bayonetta 3. I remember people were mad at this game too. People were super mad, like, because they were like, Nintendo didn't deserve this game and all these different things, when like Nintendo was the one, like, the reason why the Bayonetta 2 actually happened. Like they're just so heated. Like, it's so dumb to get mad at. Like if there was a series that was like kind of like dead and like a company brought it and like brought it back, I wouldn't be mad. Like if Microsoft got some new thing that I loved and brought it back, I'd be like, cool, they brought it back. I'm not gonna be like, Microsoft, they don't deserve this game, they shouldn't have done that. Like, it's such a dumb thing to get mad about. It's Xenoblade Chronicles X. I've never played this game at all. I think my thing at the time was like, it looked cool, but I didn't like, I was like, you kind of create your own character, and it didn't have kind of like what I loved about Xenoblade, like the original Xenoblade Chronicles. It's really what made that game so great. One, there was the gameplay and the world building. Like, and this game still has some of that. Like, the world and like everything they've crafted looks cool, but it wasn't like how Chronicle did it and with story and characters. Like, that game was something else. I still maybe want to give this game a try at some point, but I don't know. I still gotta play Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I gotta give that game a try. I look at this, I guess it still looks cool. I don't know, I think it was just like the story and everything else, and like the face designs, like the character designs, they kind of went back more towards Xenosaga in looks, which that was also a cool series too.
In this new game being developed by Mr. Tetsuya Takahashi's team at Monolith Soft, the goal is to create a large-scale open world that players can explore seamlessly. The team is using their experience
I think this game did have like multiplayer online
to make this goal a reality.
Remember there's like some huge patch like download you had to get for that. It was like 40 gigs.
Has given you a taste of the wide open adventure that the game is looking to deliver. By the way, the player will ride the human-shaped robot that appear in the trailer at certain points in the game.
We got a robot game this year. We got Daemon X Machina, so
and battle against enemies.
See how that goes.
This new title from Mr. Tetsuya Takahashi's team will be launching in 2014.
It did?
Please stay tuned. We have one final game to show today. Please take a look.
Yeah, I believe this is Super Smash Brothers. Smash 4. I'd almost like want to watch all the little character reveals, like, cause they're all really crazy. This is the Smash game where it's like everything is open now. Like Ultimate really brought that, but like this is the game that started off the trend of just, okay, if he made it in, anybody can. Like that Bayonetta made it in was like nuts, and that Ryu made it in. Like those two and Cloud were just like I couldn't believe it. And also that they brought like certain characters, they brought like some Nintendo characters. Like Little Mac was one that I wish I had like been recording when that guy first got revealed, because I was looking forward to like Little Mac since like Melee, wanting him in the game. So like finally seeing him in was like this huge, like just crazy thing. Remember 3DS version was cool. This having to be able to take Smash on the go, but it's like now I've got this. Now we got best of both worlds. Like you can play it at home, play it on the go. It's pretty great looking back at this too. Just like Ultimate really is like a step up on this. No, some people were saying that this game looks better, but it's like, I don't know, the lighting in Ultimate like just really sells a lot of this stuff. Remember that villager reveal was really cool too, and this was nice too. I was pretty excited. It's like, hey, like I'm buying both versions regardless. Now is this when they did the reveal? The reveal that got me, where I was like speechless, and yeah, this is it. My boy shows up, and I at this point I was like, oh god, they got me. Like I was, this moment, I mentioned it a while ago, this moment really got me, just because at this point in time Capcom really wasn't doing anything with Mega Man. Mega Man kind of had this, he'd been gone for a bit. Like Capcom kind of killed Mega Man in a bit of ways, where every time like something Mega Man related was coming out, it was canceled, or they kind of just did him dirty. And here's Nintendo bringing Mega Man back, like the most classic looking Mega Man you could possibly see. Everything the Mega Man related back, all the moves, the music, it was just, like this beautiful moment, just seeing him like finally back. One is great seeing him in Smash, but just seeing classic Mega Man back to the forefront. It brought it brought a little tear to my eye. I was like I can't believe it. Like Nintendo has saved Mega Man. You keep saying that though, because look at Smash Ultimate. Like Castlevania is something that, like, for a little bit at least, you weren't saying too much with, and then you see Simon and Richter, and now Castlevania is kind of coming back a little in the forefront with that Castlevania collection and the remaster of Rondo of Blood and all this other stuff. So Nintendo is like the saver of certain game characters and everything. If they're the dying franchise, you better hope Nintendo gets it, because Nintendo's gonna get you in Smash.
E3 2013 will officially start. Our booth isn't open.
And I believe like 20 minutes after this direct, Wii Fit Trainer got announced.
I'm here in the backstage of Nintendo's E3 booth at LACC. Our booth will open to the public on Tuesday at noon.
Back when I still wanted to go to E3.
On Monday, LA
It's crazy. My wish for a long time was to actually go to E3, and then finally when it opened up to the public, I was like, you know what? I don't want to go. Because I'm not spending $200 to do that. And I think PSX gave me my best feel of like an E3 type thing.
Previous years, and there were news articles that said Nintendo is not going to E3, which is not true. This year's Nintendo booth is as big as previous years. Now, I would like to show those of you watching this Nintendo Direct a sneak peek of a small part of our booth.
And Sony's dropping out. Like, this E3 is going to be really interesting. Like, I'm interested to see how this E3 is going to be.
There are many demonstrations inside the booth. Just for Wii U, there are 71. You can see.
Hey, I see you, Link Between Worlds back there. Don't try to hide.
Mario and Luigi and Yoshi games.
Should have showed that game. That game was great.
You can see
take off that Yoshi's New Island. That game wasn't good. That game wasn't good at all. Especially don't put it in between Link Between Worlds.
Shall we go to the Pikmin area?
Like old Luigi in the background back. Oh, yeah, we're gonna get Luigi's Mansion 3 news too. We're gonna see some more of that. Like, see, this E3, this gonna be stuff. This E3, I'm looking forward to. Like, there's gonna be some good stuff. Like, where's Pikmin 4? Like, I want to see Shigeru Miyamoto come out and be like, Pikmin 4 is here for the Switch on the go. Like, I'd be down for another Pikmin game.
They are made so attendee can take pictures with the Pikmin. Once the show begins, many attendees will play our games here. I'm sure there will be many people reporting about their experiences. I hope you look forward to them too.
God, half the games in this conference I got.
You can play some of the games at
oh yeah, and I forgot they were doing this too. The thing is, when they started doing that, where it's like you can go to Best Buy and play some of the stuff that's at E3. I always tried to find one. Like, they did the Smash one that year. I tried to find one that was actually showing or had Smash, but I think I was like, nah, it's a little too far away from me, and I saw the lines, and so I'm not waiting 8 hours to play one match of Smash Brothers. I can just wait for it to come out, and you know, I was fine with that. Yeah, that was Nintendo's E3 2013 showing. You know, that is a pretty good showing. Looking at it now and looking back, like, they showed off some pretty good stuff, and they have a pretty strong fall lineup. Like, you have Wind Waker HD, you have the port of that. You have the new Pokemon games. You have Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which didn't come. Actually, no, it did come out. See, the thing is, the stuff that sucks is, like, when you have these conferences where there's so much deep, like, news is being spread out, it's hard to remember everything. I need to actually be writing it down. Like, one thing I will be doing this E3 is I'm going to be writing down like stuff, so I have notes to look back to at the end, because sometimes there's so much stuff going on, I forget everything, like the little dates and everything. But everything they showed was pretty strong in terms of just what's coming in fall and what's kind of expected for like that next year. And they did a pretty good job, I'll say. Like this was a hard year. Then Sony still won me for E3 in terms of like the best conference, but Nintendo did a pretty good job. Like I think of the top three, my ranking probably goes Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, like excluding EA and Ubisoft and those other shows. I think that's like my ranking. They showed some cool stuff, and they really showed that the approach of going with the direct was a pretty smart one. And looking back now, it still is a smart one. And you see a lot of people are copying it. You see Sony has Sony's State of Play, which is like Nintendo Direct, but not as good. Even if they show some cool stuff occasionally, it's nothing that's on the same level or like charm and appeal as Nintendo Direct. And this is coming from like a big Sony fan, but this is like, yeah, these State of Plays aren't working. Like they're not fun to watch. Nintendo Directs are set up like really good in terms of just like when they're gonna show off something, or maybe they have like a surprise in the way. Like they edit it very well and it's paced very well. Like it's 30 to 40 minutes of information, and it doesn't feel like, oh god, when are they gonna get over it? The State of Plays feel way too fast. It's like 10 minutes long, and it's just kind of brief, and I don't know. But and people clown on Nintendo too. When Nintendo went with the approach of we're going to be doing these online shows instead of having a conference, people clowned on them. They're like, oh, that's stupid. Look at Nintendo. They're failing. They're leaving E3. And now Nintendo's doing a really great show. You see, people are taking it, and it's worked great for them over the years. Like I love the direct approach, especially when they do their showcase for E3, because it's nice, brief. You get your information, and you have your treehouse where they can kind of elaborate more on it. And also, it doesn't bring out any unwanted memes, unlike the other shows where maybe something happens on stage where it's just like, ooh, and then they're clowned on it for years to come. Well, going under this direct approach, you don't get that because it's controlled. So in that sense, it kind of sucks. Like we won't ever get another my body is ready type thing or anything like that, but we get the information fast. So I think before I call it there, I did say I was going to mention one thing on the Wii U. And I think this is the best time because this conference is, of course, when the Wii U is coming out. I guess to give my quick thoughts on just the Wii U as a whole. Because it's one of these systems that I still to this day kind of I will go to defend the Wii U. I think the Wii U is a good console that came out at a bad time, and a lot of things messed it up. I think Nintendo's advertising and the way they revealed the Wii U really wasn't good. It was downright awful because nobody knew what the Wii U was. People thought it was an accessory for the Wii, and there's a lot of just different things that went bad with it. And one thing that was really bad with the Wii U, I'd say, one thing that really didn't help Nintendo was that their system kind of had a lot of dry spells. So like when its first few years, you'd have a lot of time where a game would be revealed and you have to wait 6 months and the game would come out, or there'd be like barely any games for like months on end. There might be like 4 to 5 months with nothing, and then a game would come out, then it would be kind of this rinse and repeat for a while. And a lot of people really weren't happy with that. And just a lot of different things with the Wii U kind of were in that same vein of just like not too many games. The third-party support wasn't the best in the beginning, and it really kind of didn't stay long after the launch, because near the end of the Wii U cycle, you really stopped seeing a lot of these third-party developers even working on the system. And it really wasn't like Nintendo's best seller. But now those things were bad about the Wii U. But looking at it now, with the games and software they have a strong lineup. The Wii U has a pretty strong lineup of games. Like, just naming some off the top of my head. Mario Maker, that's a system seller right there. Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. You have Pikmin 3. You have Wonderful 101. You have like, I have to look over. There's a lot of games on there. Like I can name a bunch. Like, fuck this. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into to that, but the Wii U has a strong lineup. There are games on the system, and I'd say now is like if you're looking to go play some of these older Wii U games, like hey, Wii U's are pretty cheap now. Like I'd say get one because I feel in the future Wii U's are gonna be hard to find. I feel it's gonna be one of those systems where people way in the future are gonna be going after, and it's gonna become hard to get stuff for because the game pads aren't as easy to find because they never made them separate and a lot of different things. So I guess to keep this short, because I'm just kind of trailing on, I don't have anything ready on it. The Wii U was a good system. I enjoyed it. It had its downfalls, but I thought it was a good system. But the Switch is a much better system for Nintendo and is one I'm still very excited for and excited to buy and play games on. So yeah, that is gonna be it for this E3 pre-3 extravaganza, and yeah, that's it. We're now not watching any. Man. Oh. Well, I guess I'm not done. I have one more conference I have to watch. And this one, it's not going to be fun. So, until next time, I'm John, and I will see you later.